For 7 seasons, actor David Boreanaz has graced TV as Jason Hayes, the respected and intense leader of the Navy SEAL team, the most elite unit that executes dangerous, high-stakes operations to defend their country, no matter the cost.
I was once like you, kid. Dying to get in the fight. I evolved. So did the violence. Not only the violence I endured, but the violence I inflicted.
Joining me now to discuss the final season of the hit show SEAL Team is the one and only David Boreanaz. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, now you've played this take charge character for 7 seasons now. What's it been like for you, and what are you taking away from this experience?
Wow. I mean, 8 years kind of prepping, and then 7 years of being fortunate enough to play this type of a character. Its magnitude has impacted my life considerably, just from understanding how to overcome adversities, always being there for the brother next to you, never being above or below. I'm throwing out a lot of SEAL quotes at you right now. It was a very inspirational journey, painful physically, which is why I decided to, so to speak, hang it up and go to an island for his character. Or maybe he doesn't make it to an island. Maybe he makes it to his grave. I don't know. But it's been a very rewarding, humbling experience for me doing this type of a character and being just around a great group of cast members and a crew that is so solidified as far as having ex-veterans that were basically on the show, whether that would be in the writer's room or actually on the crew, some that were producers, and also some that actually directed some of the episodes.
And I think something that really makes your show special is, when you think military, a lot of times you think physical and, big action scenes, but a lot of the storylines, your show really mirror real life issues we hear about in the military, such as veteran suicide, PTSD. Why were these so important to highlight on the show for you?
For us, right from the beginning, and when we laid down the pilot, it was so very important for us to get this right and to portray these guys in a very authentic way. And that was not just on their missions or being out in the field. It was very much a balance of seeing how they're implemented back into society when they get back home, how they're treated by their friends, their families, their other brothers. It was a very complicated, conflicting bunch of storylines that we introduced right off the bat, him being with his therapist, and now 7 years later, seeing him tackling, I think, one of the biggest, I would say, pinnacles of a SEAL's destructive behavior would be, how does he handle the kills, right? We've talked about TBI, PTS, but the kills, as far as his first kill, how that has kind of weighed heavily on his shoulders and what that could possibly do to him at the end of the series.
I think that's great that you are tackling that difficult issue, because that's something that people don't talk about. The military does not talk about, especially those who are going through it. What can fans take away from the last 7 seasons?
Well, for us, it was really about presenting all of that, right? Presenting the fact that there is help out there for veterans who may be struggling. I've received many messages from ex-veterans and people that are still in service for us, thanking myself and others for the job that we have done as far as putting light into that darkness. Whether it was, hey, I was contemplating suicide last night, I saw your show, thank you for what you portrayed and giving me the courage to reach out. So when you get messages like that, you're on the right path. And for us to portray these characters, it's just to scratch the surface of what these actual men and women do for our country. And most importantly, it was an eye on the special operators and their sacrifice and how intense and grueling what their job really is. So for us, it's really, entertaining the fans as well, but also the message that there is help and it's out there, and all you have to do is lean into your brother and lean into those moments of trauma that you feel like you are helpless, but there's help and there's hope.
And it takes strength to ask for help. David Boreanaz, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Thanks so much for having me.
The final season of SEAL Team is streaming right now on Paramount+, and the final episode will be available this Sunday, October 6th.